Will this be the time? Will the Marines advance? If they do it in 57 minutes, if they win, they advance. They get that Pool 1 seed for the GPL for the first time in professional League of Legends history.
And I honestly do not see a Gigabyte Marines game going longer than 50 minutes. Anyway, so, all right, it is going to be exciting here. Let's get onto the Rift as soon as possible.
The Sandra pick. Old school counter to LeBlanc, where back in the days when a lot of LeBlanc's damage was from the distortion, you know, she would jump in, land the damage from the distortion, you could just press W as Lissandra, you would snare her, you would ult her, you would burst her down with your team. LeBlanc is much more poke focused right now though, and doesn't need to W into the face of the enemy.
Yeah, even so, LeBlanc still has to wait for, you know, the channel that passive currently, and it could be a good interruption even later in 5-on-5s.
We'll have to see when we get there. The Marines don't tend to give you a lot of time to figure out the state of the game. Definitely like to be proactive. They've got double teleports as well. That's going to enable them. It is matched by the flash walls, of course. MD and Maple going to have the options to do the same. And it doesn't look like any lane swap shenanigans. Done that, what, 3 times already this group stage?
Yeah,
even this time.
Definitely not needed with Varus and Nami as your bot lane. Kind of defeats the purpose of picking the Nami, as she really shines in that laning phase. But interesting enough as well, Graves for Karsa. Like, we know it's such a good pick, but when we've been playing that Graves and my other junglers are playing him, like so often it's about you. Like, you're the man getting fed. You're the man who then needs
You're the badass.
You're the badass. And the problem then is when Karsa's been doing this, MMD has struggled because he didn't get any help. The bot lane would have then maybe died to a gank or in a 2v, won't get any help. And then Flash was fallen really far behind because Karsa couldn't really assist his lanes while he's farming Graves. But of course, if they can just have standard laning, it's going to be fine.
And it has kind of seemed like MMD up in the top lane has been a bit of a trap for the Wolves. Even when Karsa did try and camp for him, not a lot gained out there, and it actually took away from the pressure on the other side of the map. So we shall see how they deal with it this time around.
Which lane they're going to prioritize. All right, taking a look at the assignments in the early push. Actually a lot of wave clear on really every single side of this map, so no room for error when it comes to deciding when and where you want to go there.
And I am definitely looking at that top lane possibility here, as it is a blue buff start for Levi, not going with the Raptors' extra experience on this Kha'zix. He will be ending, or having the possibility of ending right up there.
And Levi has tried to farm on Kha'zix level 6 before he really joins the team. He's so often looking for the 1v1s more than he's necessarily looking for a gank on the Karsa. The same thing can be said obviously for Karsa on Graves. You have to respect the red buff, what he can do, level 3, level 4.
All right, good hawk shot there from Bex, revealing the jungle cleared out by Marines. Some information that the Flackles can use to discern Levi's path and decisions. Cleared out the Raptor camp, making his way the Bramble back. As you can see Karsa on the opposite left-hand quadrant, doing similar to what's wrong from
And jungling is all about judging the current state of the game and adapting currently. The top lane not trading heavily, so that should be an indicator that the jungles were just continuing to farm here as Karsa takes down the Scuttle Crab.
So, yeah,
He did.
those mechanics.
He did.
All right, a little jumps back and forth. A Justice punch to the face for MMD.
Karsa here for a link gank, but also trying to maybe counter gank Levi.
Yeah, I talk about the trading. It has started to come in.
Edge line's already been used. Karsa's going to be able to dash forward. Does indeed. And the line comes out. Where buff is ticking. Flashes away from Star.
Yeah, so I like this move for Karsa. He stays around in flat auto attack range, forcing Karsa to go for the early flash.
Exactly. You have to respect it there, because if he flashes for auto's in there, you can't react if he flash and you die anyway.
Luckily for Stark, he actually got to kill the few minions. Now he goes back and TPs to lane anyway. He did lose the flash, that is key thing. And this early on in the game, you're not that tanky with your double Thorns ring. Graves and return.
Also, Graves didn't have to use the blast on, so you have to be worried here if you are Levi about re-ganks there. They don't have any extra vision, so he is waiting around for a little bit while the camps respawn.
See what happens with Levi here. A little bit of pressure. MMD's making his way up. He did not teleport. Going to save that one down as Stark has already used his interlane.
Yeah, this mostly defensive move, as we said, by Levi. He's waiting around for the re-heating. As you can see, Karsa's continue to farm, and he doesn't show up. So as soon as the wave is fully shoved, that means you can recall as a jungler because the turret is going to push back.
With this composition here, Gigabyte Marines, they can't really force too much early on. But that's not really been a problem for us, because we've actually seen in quite a few games recently how they would go even in the early laning phase, but then once the mid game hits, that's where they start roaming and starting fights.
Exactly. Yesterday, very big for them. Not against TWE as well. Farming all working out very decently so far. Just have to keep in mind the flash cooldown for the top lane. To the point that maybe you'll see some extra vision being lended to Stark's aid.
We're starting to see level 6s on the horizon. MMD, Stark, Optimus, Maple, very close to unlocking that. We talked about a little bit earlier how both sides have got quite a ridiculous wave clear actually. But then you also look at it, both sides have got a ton of crowd control that they can work with to set up any of these plays.
And a lot of the crowd control does come from the mid lane. Now, as a jungler, working around mid lane level 6 is a very big break point in the game. If you can communicate with your laner to shut the wave on your level 6 wave and have the ability ready before the enemy mid laner, then that completely destroys any sort of 2 versus 2.
No way for people to get out of Alessandro ulti. That's why he's respecting the fact that he doesn't actually have vision of enemy Kha'zix. He steps back, takes the wave. He's smart playing small things, but it's very important. A lot of mid laners tend to still go forward and maybe look for a little trade, then they get caught and die to a game.
Exactly. And keep in mind this as well, when you are messing around with these level 6 mid laners, more often than not, you can focus the jungler in the 2 versus 2 scenario if they both do show up, as they will be lower level, will be easier to take down.
And Lissandra is an interesting champion because like pre-level 6 will not really do anything. Hit level 6 and suddenly you actually have a lot of pressure because of your ulti. And then that will kind of contain you for the mid game and early late game where you also have a lot of burst potential. But then once you get later into the game, you build hourglass, your damage kind of runs out a little bit and you become more of a zoning guru.
Exactly, and building right into those paths, right? LeBlanc super early defensive Merkbeds to deal with the ultimate and all the CC that Lissandra does bring to that gank. So he's just looking to get out of the gank alive, whereas Lissandra accentuating her strengths here with the extra burst damage from Hextech.
So that Proto Bell to add a bit more mobility and burst to a kit. Very easy to get in melee range. We can hit multiple bolts.
That's what Marines are going to be looking for. We're in even game, 7 minutes in. This is just Farmville, basically. Even across every single lane, no advantages garnered yet. I'm going to reiterate, no matter the result, we will have tiebreaker games. If Flash Wolves win, we'll have 1 game between them and TSM. For that 4th seed, G2 will take 3rd. If the Marines win in under 57 minutes, we'll have 2 games played, and that will be between TSM, G2, and the Marines themselves, meaning the Marines will eliminate Flash Wolves. Take away that pool 1 seed. That would be a stunning result to end what had been an incredibly amazing MSI for the Marines.
Exactly, especially, you know, a GPL team taking away 1st seed from the LMS.
And either Europe or North America.
Yes.
As well, which will obviously be extremely interesting.
For the historians that, you know, maybe are not aware, of course, the GPL team removed from the LMS not too long ago. This is, you know, not only a redemption for TSM, redemption for G2, this is redemption for the GPL, for the Marines, for Vietnam, where, you know, they're really sending a gigantic message. We can hang with big boys.
I think they already sent the message. You know, this tournament.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Winning 3 games is more than we normally see from one team from emerging regions. And actually being close in almost every single game, except for maybe some of the SKT games where they fell behind very far. But every other game, it's actually been impossible to predict who will win, Gigabyte Marines or the other team.
All right, interesting history lesson, boys, but we are starting to see some deep wards come through.
What does that mean?
That is always the first step for invades, because here they come. Control ward as well. Right now it's just a feint towards the bottom side. You can see the defensive reaction from Flash Wolf.
But Professor Kobe, what happens after the deep vision and the invades? Which side is most likely to set something up?
Trying for something here with the top laners teleports being available. First one to the jump actually would have a huge advantage. Look at this invade from Karsa, though. He's going to find Stark, who is checking the red.
Stark not only moving down to check red, but also to be in range for potential mid-fight without using TP, because we actually saw both junglers around it.
Should be a dragon here in exchange for this red steel. Stark did get vision of Karsa. They know that all of the resources have been committed. And yes, good reaction. Intelligent reactions here from the Marines.
And of course, Marines have shown growth even throughout the last 5 days. The first 2 days they showed lacking mid-game macro, and that was all turned around when they took down Team WE in what was a clean game. The first time they picked Flash Wolves, they almost won the mid-game, but they were unable to push it forward and unable to go down. So, Marines get first dragon, first time available here for Flash Wolves.
And the bottom lane of Flash Wolves still has to be a bit cautious. They just heard Drake go down there in the glow noise, so that should keep them on their toes with their double teleports to be ready to answer.
See Lissandra right now, they know everyone is almost like good arrow.
Very good indeed, that will take some time. Sword off the target, he's holding on to his flash, gets caught down the Frozen Tomb. The damage comes out, he managed it to Wild Goat to stay alive. Here comes Maple, who teleports it in. The Marines give up first blood, they give second blood. They're not done yet. Slay has flashed
No one is dying!
Jetbox knocks him into the air. That's 3 for the element. That's 3.
That's gonna be ace!
Flash Wolves, that's a triple kill for Betty and the ace after a quadrant to close it out.
In a 4 versus 5, a bit too telegraphed. We said they had to be ready with a double teleport, and they assuredly were.
So they knew Lissandra was at the dragon, they have water already, great arrow for Betty, sword, he baits out so many cooldowns before flashing. It's actually extremely smart from him.
And a little bit slow on the Galio ultimate, doesn't arrive in time. They're caught between 2 turrets at this point, and this is when chaos breaks out. You have Slay flashing forward for the kill on the support, and there's no battle lines here for the Marines. Very good counterattack from Flash Wolves.
It's now a 4,000 gold lead for Flash Wolves at 11 minutes.
Oh, it's going to extend as Sword Art and Maple run down Optimus. That 4,000 gold lead, 1,000 of it is in Betty's hands, and he's already got Ninja Tabai to complement Blade of the Rune King.
Read like a book here. Flash Wolves completely ready. And as you said, Joe, this is a giant early game lead.
Oh, Sword Art, oh, playing it smart. Karsa is actually around him as well, but the double TP from Flash Wolves, which is disrespected right there. Gigabyte Marie thought they could burst down one guy. You have to also remember when Lissandra goes in with the Kha'Zix, your full lane is not there yet. Still running from of course, behind the tower to try and get to you. So this went all in because it's so Karsa top lane. He's like saying, guys, baited. I got this.
Calculated indeed. Flash Wolves, gigantic lead. They got tower first blood, they got 6 kills, 4 of which are in Betty's hands. He just managed to clean up and clean house against the Marines. GAM went ham, but they exploded and went kablam. I mean,
One story, Jams set up a little quiz in the caster room before we started here saying 2 players have not picked up a kill before 15 minutes. One of them was Betty, and now he sits at 4 kills.
I was leading up before Slate finds out the chains of corruption. Betty still has flash available. Steps out against Sharrow. Archie's able to flash to safety. Aldros keeps Betty alive even longer. Finally goes down to an ice shot by Optimus. End line comes out. Optimus is going to use that protocol forward before he gets the kill.
They're still coming! Maple heading down mid lane, Stark heading him off in the river. Will they be able to cover the escape?
Well, Stark's trying to use that passive to block a flash forward from Maple. Gets some damage before backing out. Glacial Bot takes Optimus to safety for now. The winds of war are flying across the Marine, and Sword Art is on a killing spree. Now Stark is locked down by the chain. Sword Art and Maple continue trading, and he escapes Glitterlance.
Once again, Gigabyte Marines are forcing a play while one guy from Flash Wolves is sitting top lane pushing. I'm not even sure why Stark was down here in the end and giving the tower over now to MMD, but that doesn't matter. The fact that Gigabyte Marines lose more kills.
Exactly. Flash Wolves, cool, calm, and collected in the face of these dives. Betty flashes the bubble, hits the arrow, gets the Lulu ultimate, and deals out a tremendous amount of damage while stalling. Then we have Maple coming down to pick up an extra kill.
There was Stark. Questions about why he was there. Fisher, we may never know.
Well, tried to help the team. It was way too late. Now this Graves, remember, has been farming for 13, 14 minutes, not been really joining a fight. Karsa walks out, first one he enters, he's already strong, and he gets a kill and 2 assists.
Flash Wolves are sending a pretty big message with this game. You step back and you look at a Betty 4-1-3. He's actually been one of the players that has been struggling a little bit yesterday. Had the unfortunate camera on him when he missed a whole lot of CS in the tower. And this is actually very important because if the Flash Wolves win, they play TSM at the end of the day.
Hotline, baby.
Tiebreaker. Stark gets turned into a little critter. Swordart continues to tank up, and Flash will take this dive. Look pretty easy, but it is a tank that you are diving. Stark survives thanks to that idle advantage and just natural beefiness.
Yeah, fun little fact as well. The other player on that quiz official was MMD, as we guessed, and he has been gotten through the early game very, very free. Big CS lead for this Nautilus, one of the champions that he likes to be on. Meanwhile, down bottom, they're still going pretty hard.
And Stark really is the target here, but Archie's a much juicier target. Collateral damage chunks him down as well. Sword Art, Maple gonna get support from MD. Will he get 315 kills? Stark gets the Justice Punch to the face. It's Archie down, MD secures it, and Karsa gets the second.
Gigabyte Marines are trying something mid lane, but Penny already stepped away from that tower. Will at least get some gold. There's 7,000 gold down right now at 16 minutes.
Flash Wolves have pulled off way too many outnumbered counterplays. That's where all this gold is coming from, and that's why they're able to now make the offensive moves on the other side.
And we saw one of those adaptations this game we kind of wanted to see from the teams. React well, choose some of the aggressive plays from Gigabyte Marines. Teleports were saved by Flash Wolves. They didn't use them back to lane, they kept them. They were like, yeah, you know what? We can just walk back to lane, we're even in CS, it's fine. Ready for an aggressive play. Because obviously the Lissandra combos we talked about earlier wants to force plays here in the mid game. And the reaction with double TP was perfect. Obviously Gigabyte Marines over-diving as well. But when a team makes a mistake, it takes another team to punish them and not to get the reward.
Exactly. The bar is being raised. Even though you can make play 5 versus 4 with your numbers advantage, you still have to have that execution or else it can blow up extremely big in your face.
And that's exactly where Marines find themselves, with a poorly executed dive that has put him in this gigantic hole. We're getting closer to 20 minutes, and it already feels like this is a lead that will be insurmountable. Luckily, the play-by-play line of wait clear here for the Marines is pretty good in their side, and they've got a couple teleports to work with. Let's see how they handle this. Slay gets chunked down by Maple, who, by the way, has 9 stacks on that top seal. He's going to get rooted in place, locked down by 2.
Did you miscount?
Damn it, damn it! Cast a curse. Pull it out. They got 5. All right, so Maple life and a few stacks, but they get 3rd tower.
Yeah, they sacrificed the bot lane tower because it was already low, just to go mid lane and try and make that play. So the Maple gets something again. And the Gigabyte Marines, they will not stop fighting, but as we all talked about in Champ Select, when you have this all-in engage comp, it looks so good when you're even more ahead, because you can actually force these fights and win them. When you're this far down, oftentimes when you're hard engaged, you're all in, the enemy team wants you to do it, because they want to fight with their big advantage anyway.
A pretty good reactionary comp as well. Grave, Lulu, Nautilus, be good playing backwards if you want to. The Kite and Fox style. Dragon number 2, another Cloud. We've got a few Clouds in our 2 games so far. This time picked up by Flash Wolves. Marines secured that one early by Levi. And it just feels like Marines, they need to find skirmishes where maybe this gold lead as a team can be less effective. And that also means having teleport advantage potentially, or finding visuals alone, or in small numbers.
Also, finding those engages you're looking for, finding those plays you're looking for, Trevor, become more and more difficult the more vision that the Flash Wolves get. Because if you thought they were ready for the plays before, now they have deep vision in your jungle and they can see any movements ahead of time.
Oh, Maple, he lost 4 stacks on that Dark Seal.
You're still sad about that? Fisho, you're living in past.
Yeah, but Kobe happens a lot. Disappointed dad Deficio comes out.
He had 9 stacks on it, almost 10. Then he lost.
That just randomly pops into your brain 5 minutes later.
5 minutes? Come on, it's been a minute.
Let's take a look to see.
You clearly don't know what 5 minutes is.
Well, sense of time when casting with you two just goes out the window. Time flies when you're having fun. Meanwhile, The Flash Wolves are probably
having fun.
The Marines are trying to invade. Kobe's trying to make a point, Vishio, because the Flash Wolves are ready for it. They're waiting. Remember all that?
Back on track, boys.
Remember all that vision? Flash Wolves knew about it. We're anticipating.
Oh, the killing Karsa!
That actually gets caught out. They don't anticipate the damage. Finally goes down. Levi able to flash away to stay alive. But Slay way on the front line. He overflashed. MMD has arrived, flashed in. Levi still alive until Maple takes him down. That's a double kill. Starks now running for his life. With the wall buying some time. Can he flash the wall? He made it. Maple's in trouble, but he's going to keep chasing Archie. Archie's able to get under the tower and survive. It's Betty with his 5th of the game.
Oh, Optimus. Sick recall mechanics. Midland Tower, though, it's gonna go down.
Yeah, and I love how Slay's still like, I want in there, me too. Everybody's in, flat forward. Flash Wolves, though, are able to turn this one around, even though they lose their main man, Karsa. Could be able to get multiple objectives after the turnaround as well.
Can't end the fight as an 8 here with Flash up. Better use it aggressively then. Slay's back, though.
Got no flash, means he not want to end the fight. What catches MMD, but not in time. And that Betty and MMD is safe. 5 towers secured for Flash Wolves. There's a replay of what looked good at the start, but just took so long to kill Graves off through Grits to Wild Growth.
Yeah, just the fact that Karsa actually got a bit of his damage off was enough to force Levi out of the fight. Now the rest was coming, and MMD with the flank. Set up, and despite start, trying to buy a bit of time for his team, you have no dash now.
Yeah, not only the setup is a huge part there, but also the gold advantage that they've been able to spend their money on already. There's a huge stats advantage right now for Flash Wolves. Quick, Officio, how many stats does he have now?
10! What a beast. And now Gigabyte Marines are looking for more fights.
They are indeed. The path was not followed, though. Optimus 3-1-8. Oh, by the way, looking at KDAs here, 3-0-11 for Sword Art. Every single kill has happened around him.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Marines dove bottom and on Lulu.
Exactly.
Pivotal. I mean, a redemption already at this stage with Idolwatcher.
Yet he has gone unscathed. 0.
And he's been playing perfectly. Like, he was baiting down the lane at the first fight. Optimus is trying to disengage with his E.
Yeah, but you can't outrun the mine once it's locked on. Heroic entrance comes down for Stark. It buys enough time for the Hourglass. Archie on the back end. He's already killed. That's the first one Sword Art has missed. Now Optimus is running for his life.
Stacks!
Gets a kill on some people as he loses the stacks and disappoints Officio.
Oh, it is set. Flash Wolves win another fight. Archie getting that poor feeling as support, especially Nami when you're on a losing team. I've been there very often, and you just can't do anything in fights. On the losing team, as the Nami, you can't do anything. Every fight is someone just one-shotting you.
Gotta give some kudos to the Flash Wolves. Bouncing back from their loss earlier today and really just, well, they're obliterating Marines. I mean, look at this again. That's in fight, of course. 10K gold up, so hello, you
No one knows that. If you tune in right now, it's dead even in gold. Greatly executed fight by Flash Wolves. Maple gets killed. Then actually goes a little bit too accurate. We get to see why Sandra works against LeBlanc. He actually use that distortion into the range.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worthwhile that even though he does lose some of the stacks, he also got assists afterwards, so gets a couple back there, and Flash Wolves completely taking over the map. Remember the map that we keep talking about, the deep boards that they're now getting, is definitely going a long way towards assuring the end game for themselves.
This is not the end of the day for Flash Wolves. If and when they close this game out, tiebreaker versus TSM, G2 will secure third. If you're a European LCS fan, and you want Flash Wolves to not throw at Baron, not throw in the game, that means G2 will advance to face Team WE next week here in Rio. And also, we secure that pool 1 seed because it was G2 and 8 last year. Cost Europe a pool 1 seed.
Yes, they did.
Just loaned in for a while.
Ash Arrow tags Levi on the back end. The Chains do not find their targets, and Flash Wolves, look, they've got inhibit towers to knock over. It feels fairly trivial. Do Flash Wolves play this one safe and maybe set a vision as Baron, force Marines to come to them?
I mean, yeah, you might as well. You can just use it again to start a fight. You don't have to actually risk, 50-50 smite or anything. Just start it, disengage when Gigabyte Marines show up. There's some ability on things like LeBlanc and ready to get over that wall and actually burst someone down.
The one thing I will say to that is you have to be ready to pull off of Baron.
Oh, yes.
So you don't get caught up into all this AoE combo of Marines. But here come the Marines. You don't even have to bait Baron for them started.
You don't. Maple gets locked down by the Ring of Frost. Wild goes buys a few extra seconds. Still not dead. Buster's punch still doesn't kill him. The back end, MMD's one time. Somehow, Sword Art gets shut down. That's a big gold boon for the Marines. MMD continues to be a nuisance as the idol of Durant keeps Stark alive. Here comes Optimus. Does not click the Glacier.
Oh no!
Betty's untouched as Maple has been able to rejoin the fight.
Yeah, I don't think Maple expected the fight to continue. He was actually walking away from the fight when the re-engage happened from the flash wolves. A lot of credit to Sword Art despite dying. He played that engage perfectly. Because as soon as Optimus came in, he whimsied him, so he couldn't actually knock down Maple.
Oh, Archie playing the bait. Did Baron help? Did Baron help? No, he also did not follow Maple through.
Yeah, good flash there from Maple to get out of range.
I think it would have killed him actually if Baron had tagged him.
Engage though. I like it again. Gigabyte Marines, you're down almost 10k gold in 25 minutes. Doesn't matter. You need to gauge to get back in this game. And you want to do it as early as possible. Because again, your late game can be tricky to play with Lissandra.
And you want to do it in the jungle before Flash Wolves have set up, before they're ready for it. You know, the element of surprise still slightly working in their favor. Although it's a very small amount of gold they got back for themselves. Much more of a moral victory though.
Right. It's kind of crazy that Optimus actually found a way to flank. When Flash were this far ahead and have been sitting in that jungle for quite some time, they should have everything warded so they can see any sort of like movement, teleport, and then be ready to disengage. Even though they lose one guy, but they're still super far ahead. And it's kind of the same play now. Set up Baron, enemy jungle, use that Baron to kind of bait Gigabyte Marines to stay around, and then find one gauge to fight.
I love looking at the inventory, seeing control wards in Flash's inventories time and time again. Just exceptional use of vision. I can get my words out. As we look across the map, thank you, observers, for highlighting it. They have all the information to play with, and they've got a gigantic lead. So it's up to them when and where these engages can happen.
Exactly, and they should stick together fairly close range so that they don't get caught by surprise. They don't get picked up by the Marines.
Marines going to be looking for a mistake, Flash Wolves. Going to need some opportunities to punish. I'm looking at the mini-map. Betty and MMD, I think, are doing a two-man Baron.
Yep, they've started it up. Slowly but surely, they shall be able to burn it down and force the hand here, but here they go.
All right, Sword Art is fought out once again. Cell fasts the wild growth. Stark finishes the teleport. That means it's on cooldown. Optimus doesn't have his TP either. So the Marines trade TP for Baron.
And they defend pretty well here, Gigabyte Marines catching Sword Art, basically forced Flash Wolves into a weird decision of do we fight or do we stay on this Baron right now without cooldowns on our support? They decided to back away, therefore Baron is still alive and Gigabyte Marines still trying to buy a bit of time.
And that's where the Marines need to really show poise, need to show some control. Because they are so far behind. The traditional Marine style that we've seen a little bit of, you know, go in at every opportunity, that will cost them this game. It needs to be the right time, the right fight, with the right information.
Yeah, and I think to your point earlier about, you know, looking for a mistake from Flash Wolves, I think Gigabyte Marines are looking to force a mistake out of Flash Wolves by having, you know, a really good flank engage from Lissandra. Catch the one guy who's out of position from the Flash Wolves and then get that third kill because Lissandra is always like that shotgun, you know, it's one big hit first and you need to kill him on that.
Of course, as you said early on, doesn't too much matter the state of the game. That's always what the Marines are looking for, trying to force that mistake.
Getting closer to 30 minutes. Looking down the items, Void Stop, the Scepter, Protobelt, Optimus, and the other end, Lugan Zekum or Anomicon. 7 stacks on that Dark Seal, and
it's not 10.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
How many eggs are in that ring?
There are 9 control.
Right now, 7. You need 10. All the eggs in that ring.
What do you guys think of Betty build Phantom Dance? It feels like almost every game, or at least a lot of his games. Something that he's doing.
Against the Marines, I would Phantom Dancer for sure.
GA first item.
There aren't even too many, you know, people to actually get the passive on. He's gonna auto attack whoever's closest to him because there's gonna be a lot of dive.
I like it against Kha'zix. I also think against Galio, you need to respect some of the base damage he does offer. So I think it does make sense for him. He's probably not expecting to get the triple hurricane hit. A lot of guys in these like very split up fights engaged from every side. They're rocking this Baron now. Karsa sitting mid, and Team from Optimus is obvious to use it.
The control ward at the back of the pit. Optimus is deciding to ski up into the tri-bush. All right, Marines somewhat split. Justice Punch is available for Stark if he wants to jump in.
3,000 health and counting.
Ash Arrow's gonna tag onto Stark, tank the front line. Tidal Wave will split up the Flash Wolves, but they continue to push forward. Chain of Corruption has also been fired. Stark on back in is caught out by that drift. Flash forward from Optimus, jumps onto Betty. Betty gets the wild growth. It's a fight on to front, but it's ended. Slay is still running for his life as Stark is sitting on the front line. 5 Flash Wolves are hungry for blood, and the pack aces the Marines.
Yeah, again, we can see how Gigabyte Marines wants to play their comp. Get in the backline with Lissandra. Kha'zix follows, and then the Galio ulti as well. But when you're this far down and every single cooldown was available for the Flash Wolves, then it's simply not enough.
There's too much gold in the Flash Wolves' bank, and they were able to get inside the base. Inhibitor down.
How long are those death times? 20 seconds. MMD's gonna tank up a few shots. And Titan's Wrath shield blocking it up a lot.
Get it, Archie!
Here comes Archie, 0, 5, and 5. Already been tagged by the Shatter Orb. Is this a game? Flash Wolf, Nexus turrets are out. Then focusing Nexus turret, and then book the date. A rematch with TSM for a shot at the playoffs.
31 minutes. Felt like the game was over in 10 minutes after Gigabyte Marines opted into those fights in the bot lane. They completely backfired, both of them. Down 6-7K gold before the game even started.
Optimus on your